Anyway, I think I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna check out some of these viewer matches. Were any of you in there? Right here, these matches on the screen. Are any of you in any of these matches? I got asked to watch this one, so I'll watch this one for a bit, and then we'll check in and look at everything else. Okay. I got asked to take a peek at this one. So this is my beginner bracket, and I got asked to take a peek. That combo was actually sick, by the way, given the wall health.
Bad guy. No, she's dead.
I got asked to take a look. I'll say, okay, first of all, we don't burst those here.
How do we feel about that burst?
We do not burst those for sure, for real. Wait, are you saying that Meatzzz is playing the wrong character? Like, is Meatzzz gonna switch characters here? So Meatzzz didn't even mean to play this character, so that first match doesn't matter. Is what you're saying. Okay, so some other thoughts. Then we'll go. I'll go to this next match. Some other thoughts here. To the Soul player, you cannot air dash as much as you're air dashing, I think, as a general approach. If you've noticed, basically every time the Soul player has approached, it's been like run 6S or jump air dash, right? Not bad options, but you need a little bit of like run wait or run 2S or something else. It shouldn't just be run air dash every time, or you're gonna have a real problem. We gotta talk about this burst. What is this burst? What is this burst about, huh?
Oh, is he Chicago? Am I wrong? I'm sorry.
What are you gonna do about that? Bursting on a pixel like that is really, you know, you got to be very careful about that. Nice, I love that. That looks great.
Oh my God, look at this combo though. That was kind of.
That's a miss behemoth. We, you know, these happen. Oh my God, nice. I'll take it. Okay. A couple of things for Meatzzz, right? I see you do. You've had this problem like 3 times already. I'm gonna assume this is supposed to be 268 BT and not 684 BT, because you don't really want to do this behemoth that close, because as you notice, there's a dead zone, and it just doesn't hit if your character is close to you. If you want to do this behemoth here, do 2K 2D and then do this behemoth. That's fine, but you can't just do it off of one normal. You want to do 268. When you're doing a behemoth with Goldlewis, the most important thing to remember is that the last direction you hit is the input you get. So like if you're inputting like this, right, you need to hit the up. This arrow right here is the most important one. If you don't hit up, you will not get 268. So you have to hit up, or you have to hit right, or you have to hit down, or you have to hit left, whatever behemoth you're trying to do. Or even go past it if you're worried about getting the wrong behemoth, right? Even go past the one you're trying to do, so that you don't accidentally get a different one that you don't want, and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't mean to do that. That's gonna hit.
Reversal super, this should hit. Yeah.
One thing I would say there too is if you get a chance where like you get a knockdown off of something like this, I would say you should maybe spend your security gauge a bit more. I haven't seen you really use drone or whatever it's called, drone or minigun that much. Should be dead here. You can kill off of this. So if your close slash or your 268 behemoth here hits, you can run up and do 2S in a behemoth or 5H. Or 5K in the behemoth, right? So don't 2H in neutral ever. Are you talking to the Soul player? The Soul player didn't 2H in neutral. The Soul player was trying to do a combo and got 2H on accident. Nice. That was a great whiff on it.
The first round here on the board, so that's, you know, this is gonna hurt though.
Yeah, we saw. Okay, Thather whiffed.
A little bit of a drop.
Oh, no.
It happens. That should be super there.
It was an American
instead. For Cali was good. I think you kind of have to burst there. I don't think that's the end of the world.
I don't like backing off there.
Another thing about behemoths, I don't know which behemoth you're meaning to do here, but again, if you're pressuring with Goldlewis, you should either be doing 268, the up one, the swing where you swing up for plus frames, or you should be doing 684. This behemoth here does nothing for you. In fact, it's better if you just do 624. 624 or 684 are the behemoths you want to do to end your combos. There's not really, this doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't combo here. Even if it hits, you're not close enough to get a wall bounce. So it's not a very useful behemoth, even though it's plus. Like, it's not doing much for you. So I think in that case, you need to use 268 or you need to use 684 or 624 BT instead, right?
Yeah, that was tough.
That is much better. This right here? No, this is fine. This is actually a great choice. This will beat BT a lot of times, right? So round start is a good option against BT. It beats Far Slash, which is Goldlewis's, you know, main option here. It's 10 frames. It's good. It'll be his 2S. It'll beat 5K, for instance. Like, it beats a lot of options. This is a good move. And RCing it is fine because you do it as a, just to be safe. You don't want a delayed RC. You want to RC immediately here. So it's fine to do this. This is like a fine, I have no problem with this. The actual issue I think Dari has is your approach is a bit linear. It's either run 6S or air dash a lot. I think you should maybe learn to approach by running and blocking, or running and letting your opponent attack and then whiffing a little bit more. You did some of that in the set, but I think probably not quite enough. The Pot versus Chipp. Okay, let's look.
Yeah, he can definitely he can win any match.
Let's take a look.
Has some really hard ones.
Oh, it's the match before? Okay, I'll take a look. This matchup, I think a lot of Pot players don't know exactly what to do here. It's not just you, so if you're going to get smoked here, I can give you some advice. A couple of things, right? So one thing is you get hit here by Rekka low here. This is negative on hit. So if your opponent doesn't cancel this, right? If your opponent doesn't do anything here, you can actually hit something. So you can hit like 2P or something maybe. And you can get out of there maybe a little bit easier. I don't know about spending the bar here, but I think it's not that bad.
The big full one?
You're fine.
That's
the other thing is, like, Alpha looks really annoying. Yeah, I think 2H is a bit too committal there. I think you should probably, if you want to poke in neutral, I would guess that Far Slash and 5H are better options to bring out. Okay, this also looks fine.
I haven't ever really experienced this. I don't play either of these characters.
Yeah, this looks fine. I think everything you're doing just now is totally cool.
This matchup is weird, right? Because theoretically, Chipp wins.
You should probably do Hammerfall or Megafist RC. Okay, I think that the mirror earlier was okay. You should be doing either a Hammerfall or Megafist into RC into some pressure instead of using the mirror there. The mirror is okay if you're full screen and you got some bar and you want to spend it, but it doesn't really give you that good of a situation after compared to like Hammerfall or Megafist, which both of which, if they hit and you RC, you get the combo off of, and if they're blocked and you RC, you get pressure off of, right? So just doing Hammerfall into like close slash into Garuda, or doing like Megafist into the same thing would be way better. You know what I mean? It's spending your bar in a way that's like much more productive.
They're afforded a lot fewer mistakes, let's say.
I like slide head there. I'm even okay with that too, because you almost had meter anyway. Nice, that looks great. I think that should probably be 6P into what's it called? That should probably heat knuckle instead of 2H. It's my hit. Yeah, I forced them to block, which is okay. I like that you're hitting Far Slash. I would say also against Chipp, maybe 2D is okay as well, because he's kind of just running at you on the ground, right? And like if he's just gonna run at you, I think, you know, 2D is a good option to check him low when he's running in. Probably a little bit of a better solution.
No, I think it's totally like, I personally prefer to just use the.
You see, he's like, it's going under him or over him there because he's so little. I would say 2D or 2P is probably a little bit better.
There's also exclamation point glossary.
Mostly because, you know, like Chipp wants to run at you, so if you can stuff that ground approach. Yeah, I like 2P there. 2P looks good. Even that too. Notice how what the Chipp player does here is he kind of just lets you swing and then runs in behind your whiff. So I would say if this is happening to you, where you're attacking and then Chipp just runs in after and you're like, dude, I can't stop him, he's too fast. Motherfucker Sonic. You should just walk forward and use your lights. So that way you don't have to worry about your medium or heavy buttons getting run past. You can just run up, walk up and 2P him.
Really like BoneDaddy.
Right? Like, why give him a big old whiff to run in behind when you can just walk up and like hit a little 2P action?
Right, and like
or if he's just sitting back there waiting, use Hammerfall or Megafist. Yeah, I don't love the mirror here. Mirror is really easy for a lot of characters to punish in neutral, or like that, just get away from. See that? I don't love the mirror. I think you're better off. You might as well just do Hammerfall RC. Because you know, you spend the gauge. That's a punish. You spend the gauge because you want to, like, you know, get some space and then move towards your opponent, right? Why not just move forward with something that's better? You know what I mean? It's better to move forward with Hammer Fist or Hammerfall or Mega Fist and then just be good. You're like, hell yeah.
His life is so bad, but they've just not been able to get to like those powerful.
Mirror isn't good against most characters. It's fine in some matchups sometimes, but it's not that useful most of the time. A lot of characters have punishes they can just do on reaction and neutral all the time. I need to see a little tippy tap here. When you block Rekka 2 like this, I think you should hit a button like 5p or something. In case that he does the overhead, you'll stuff it, and if he does nothing, you can at least challenge.
No, I feel like counter hit, air throw or something. Big 6K.
Oh yeah, you kind of do have to block there. You also need to burst.
Break the kill. Wow.
Needs to be a burst there on defense somewhere.
In the air.
The big thing is like, yeah, I think the mirror is something that you like to do, and I would recommend a little bit less of, right? A little bit less of, because you could probably spend your meter on Hammerfall or Mega Fist to get in, and yeah, like Ryan says, if you're on defense and you have the meter, you can YRC instead, so you don't end up being stuck on defense. The mirror is like oh god, I don't want to be near this character. I'm going to do the mirror so that I don't get swarmed. But you can just save your meter for defensive options so you don't get swarmed anyway, right? Let's go back here and take a little looky-loo.
What really matters is like what you're comfortable with.
I see.
I think can apply some skill checks as well.
We'll see what your problem is going to be in this matchup.
We'll have to see. It's off to a great start here.
I think that this character could give Nago... You should punish that. One thing, I'll give you some advice. When you block Anji's low here, this is -7. And Nago's 5k is 7 frames. So this is probably punishable by him by most ranges. I'd be surprised if there's like a lot of ways for him to space this out to be safe against you. It's probably pretty hard for this to be safe against you. So that should probably be 5k into a punish.
Okay. Not quite.
That's probably pretty good for you. Oh, I like that. You're a little early on the command grab, but not a bad idea.
Chance here for Captain this is a slobber knocker.
Another thing to think about in this matchup is like, okay, I'll get into it in a second actually. We'll see if we see it again.
I feel like, okay, that's a huge
You can RC that to make yourself safe. The big thing for Nago in this matchup is I don't think you need to be as big as you are with all your normals. Like, you're kind of swinging big here, like with a lot of 5Hs and 2Hs and all this stuff, right? I think you can tighten it up a bit maybe against Anji, because spin is like his primary scary thing here. Use your 2S and your 5k. Especially, I've noticed that this is sort of already a sign, but you have almost no blood and you have only been hitting your big heavy buttons, right? Your big heavies are better when you have higher blood. So especially when you're low on blood like this is like 2S into Beyblade Town, and this is like / into Beyblade or Fukio Backtown or other options. When your blood is low, you shouldn't be hitting these buttons as often. They don't have as good a startup and recovery, and also they don't combo. So you did like 2S 5H a few times. That doesn't combo unless your blood is like here or something, right? So you need to have at least 1 gauge of blood, or build up your blood a bit if you're going to use these big heavies.
I feel like, okay, that's a huge slide. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Punish. Great.
Something important to think about. Might not be worth using them as much. Yeah, this should be Beyblade action. That's hilarious. Should be some Beyblade action. It should be some Fukio. It should be a clone into Fukio would be great. I would recommend that as well. Right there too, you could have canceled that into Fukio, for instance.
I feel like unfortunately Palindrome has been eating a lot of.
Another thing to keep in mind is we've seen you use DP a few times. So DP is actually, it's not very good here. What does this do for you? It's frame traps Anji if he hits a button, right? You can just use 2S into Beyblade, and that will also solve the same problem of trying to hit him when he wakes up. You could accomplish the same thing without spending any blood. You could do like 5k 6H. So probably important to look for that instead of doing what's it called? Instead of doing something like that. I love this. This should be, yeah. That would have killed anyway. Close slash action. I like the Beyblade there. You should probably just do it again, yeah. Perfect. That was much better. Much better. I think that all looks great.
That was pretty rough there.
I think that all looked pretty great. Everything you did there as the Nago player, besides the DP on Meaty, I think that all looked pretty good. Oh, Testament now.
So we are seeing the character change here.
Okay.
A little greedy on the command grab. You didn't even really need it. You didn't even have that much blood or anything, but you know.
Yeah, I think I can kind of understand.
Yeah, I don't know what the anti-air attempt was there from the Testament, but it probably should have been 6p. Command grab, of course. You should kill here. Or close anyway. Not a big deal though. Oh, that's gonna hit.
Raw super, the chompers.
The big gator? Oh my god,
yeah.
that was footsie.
Some advice for the Testament player I can give you after this this idea.
NoWandWizard
This is a beginner
got
tournament,
his
yeah. Some advice for the Testament player.
was the same
You can't really contest Nago here when he has
Also,
clone
no, this stage
as a
is hell
threat.
not legal, but it's okay.
But I think you're getting in a little too close. I think if you want to go further back and then throw the fireball and then use the crow or 6P if he tries to jump, that's great, especially when clone's not a threat anymore. But I think dashing in this close is a little spooky without some teeth behind it, because you're kind of putting yourself into the range where Nago wants to hit you. This looks great. I'll take that. That's not so bad.
Teleport into throw. Clever stuff.
That was a little aggressive. I feel like if you're fighting a character
fine.
as dangerous as Nagoriyuki,
I think also I don't love this corner setup. I feel like instead of charging this, you should just shoot it. Because charging it here, like, I don't even know what this is on block, but it's probably not better than just OTGing with it. If you just shot it right away, it will OTG, and then the second hit will be meaty anyway. You know? So it accomplishes probably what you're looking for without you even having to do anything. You just auto time it, and it's a meaty anyway, and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, a Testament has the range. Testament can chill,
This looks great. I like what the Testament player is doing here. You should dash after that probably though. When you run up here, you should either do a far normal into another fireball, which will be like a true block string because of the stain pop, or you should hit a light and then dash after, because you're so plus. You can dash up and do like 2k 2d and do another fireball or something. You could have been close enough for that 2k 2d to work. Another bit of advice for everybody who fights against Nago, just as like an idea, you should be looking to bait H. So 5H or 2H are very baitable buttons, and when you bait that option from Nago, you should run in and challenge or do something on the screen like that is good for you. So right here, fireball's out, and then you back up. You see how Nago whiffs this? This should be a crow here, or this should be like a run in and challenge or something. Like when he whiffs or commits to these big buttons, that's your turn to take an action, right? Like you just think about it like a turn-based strategy game. The boss just tried to hit you with something, your dodge chance was high, it missed you, and it's like, all right, now it's my turn to run in and do my attack, right? You know, something like that. It's like a good time to challenge in there and just run up. What can Goldlewis do there? You can shoot the minigun at him. You can run up in Behemoth. You can run up in Far Slash or 2S or Jump D. Those are all good options.
All right, the bird is blocked, so there is stain in effect here. Could make a
I like that. That pressure looked great. Throw the bird. This looks great. Everything about this looks awesome. Should have confirmed in a super probably, or Arbiter Slime, because it would have been burst safe, but it doesn't really matter that much.
Yep, Palindrome's in it.
I like the adaptation, and especially like not over.
Yeah, throw the bird here. This looks great. I think though, one problem is you actually, after you got the stain here, you actually could have just thrown another fireball probably, right? Like I don't think you needed to run in here and put yourself in the danger zone. You probably could have just thrown another fireball until Nago jumped or something.
Yeah. Wow, that hurt. Oh no.
You know, we didn't need to go in there. We were doing just fine.
Well, this is not looking good. Oh, explode through the wall.
I like what the Nago player is doing here, though. I think your pressure looks totally cool. I like what you're doing. It's not bad.
NoWandWizard looking very.
We saw a little bit more Beyblade and a little less DP, which makes me feel better. Does Beyblade threaten fireball after bird? Not from full screen. Your real threat from full screen is clone, but you know,
Something I want to point out
that's not so bad. Even if you get hit by the clone into Fukyo, he's so far away that he doesn't really get anything. He has to like double Fukyo, and then that you can challenge, so it's not so bad for you. I don't think we've seen a Millia yet. Oh, you're both here. Nice.
Yeah, and something interesting.
Let's take a look.
About a lot lately.
This matchup is interesting. You know, you have to have actually good Millia stuff to deal with Leo's flash kick on knockdown, right? You have to have like real setups. I'm sorry, my nose is so messed up today, chat. I know I'm making a lot of noises with it, but it's brutal. My nose is broken, so a lot of times I have issues with it just being stuffy. I actually like that BRC.
Totally can, right?
I even like the pressure there. That looked great.
Setups also
Yep.
are usually off of pretty long exchanges, so the Leo
I like blocking there too, even looking to see if the Leo would flash kick or not. One thing to note about the Leo, I'll give you some advice. If Millia's doing this into nothing because she expects you to flash kick, you can just jump and get out of here or hit a button. right? So if Millia doesn't do anything here, you can actually just challenge this. This is free real estate here.
It's gonna happen, right?
And you don't care about sides either. Like if they can't like cross up your inputs or anything. So there's
Something nice to think about, you know.
Full screen 6B. Oh, that
I like that idea about that hit confirm. It didn't work out. You also,
I know.
to the Leo player here, you have a lot of bar.
Some upsides.
You should, I think, force some of the meter out here, right? So like you get this could be our seed, and you can just do super off of it, right? You have so much meter that you could have spent earlier. Probably important to think about spending that a little bit earlier.
That was a nice round from Randell.
That 2D. I think we should.
You have to be careful about 2D in this matchup too. That's a punish. Oh, you don't know. Okay, this will give you some advice to help you out. So when Millia does disc like that, she is counter hittable, and really she has to space out the S disc or she's in trouble. When she does it point blank like this, you can just punish her with anything. You can hit whatever you want, and she's like in full counter hit state, and like you just smoke her here. This is a really scary spot for her, and maybe you just didn't know that S disc is unsafe or whatever here, but you could have punished with anything basically. That's an important thing to note. You should just test that in training mode. Have Millia do like 2D into S disc and then try to punish it.
It doesn't happen, and it's like this is so bad.
That should also be a punish. Yeah.
You just end up looking awkward, and then they get
Oh,
their chance.
no real meaty there. Air dashes to the other side. Love to see it. You were safe on your offense a couple of times, so. Uh-oh, that is scary. Yeah, you were a little too committal. I think for the Millia player here, if you want to do a mix-up, you run up and you do first hit of this in a 6P. This is not really doing much for you, right? I don't know if this is intentional or if you try to like jump cancel into Bad Moon and you just did this on accident, but we should be looking for like close S into 2S or close S in a jump cancel Bad Moon, right? You missed it here because your close S hit on the second hit and not the first. It happened. But afterwards, this is no good. Yeah, you did this way too high. Maybe you should neutral jump when you try to Bad Moon, so that way you don't fly over them. This might help you out.
No,
Whoa, going for some fanciness there.
The Bad Moon was so high up.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a miss.
You think that was supposed to be a cross-up? It looked like it almost crossed up.
No, it can't cross up. I think he just did it too high up.
Oh, and you're dead. Nice. The pressure there looked great. Rad Moon, yeah.
Yeah, and try to block.
It was not so rad.
Overheads.
Nice. That looks great.
Her XX overheads. And
Your
like,
pressure around the flash kick has looked pretty good, I think, though, Slater.
It's impossible.
Yeah, that looks great too.
Reminds me of the my friend had a
To give you some advice here, also for defending against Millia, she can't really cross you up at this range, probably, right? So your main thing is it's going to be like an air dash into an overhead, probably, or empty low. So you should block overhead for a sec and then block low, because it's probably going to be a low.
Reminds me of the
But that's hard to block.
Tekken throws,
You know, it's very hard to block in that
I've seen
scenario.
that, yeah. Oh, that's so sick.
Nice. I like that you
Anyway,
threw a fireball,
Randell
actually, and
already
didn't
eats a
just
big
run in.
50%. It feels like just in scrambles.
You know,
The low,
I would like to see you flash kick the disc. I have to say, I feel like you haven't really presented it as an option almost at all. Like right here, just flash kick. You know what I mean? Because like there was a respect on it like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, you gotta just, you know what I mean? I love it. I think that it's good that you flash kicked it there. You need to do it at some point just to represent the options so that the Millia player has to think about it.
Beat a Leo player if you can actually get a read on when they're gonna try to.
Nice. This pressure looks great. I love this.
Yeah, getting some nice
Overhead again.
this time, though.
Yep.
Oh, there we
Super.
go, the nigh
Perfect.
unreactable.
That was great. Everything about that was sick. Now just throw for the kill.
I know, we're gonna need
Or
it
that
pretty
works
soon.
too.
There's the cross.
You'd love to see it. Everything about that looked great. If you're the Millia player, I would have got hit too. So, you know, life goes on.
Wow, another cross.
I think you're looking for burst there. Love the setup.
Is that an intentional reset? That was crazy.
That was great. Yeah, okay, that's a little scary, but it's not so bad. I think if you're the Millia player here, I was just going to say, when this happens, you should probably expect Leo to try to force with some bar, right? So the primary things the Leo player is going to do is like big fireball RC, or more importantly, probably run up Berserker Slash, or do something scary on the ground. So I think I was just going to say, look to contest with 2K, 2D here, because whatever Leo does, like it's pretty likely it's going to be something that will lose to your low. So this run up 2K looks great.
Every round is just whoever
You should flash kick there 100% because you have so much meter.
Yeah. Are you going to be able to kill?
Everybody does it there. You should do it again. Yeah.
Okay, it was let's call that.
You should just spend your bar there probably and try it again. Pretty likely that they're going to commit to some offense there. You got to get out. You do need to RC it a little earlier, though, actually, I think. You kind of RC the DP so high. Okay, this should be a big confirm, yeah.
Is this what Leo players are like?
Yes.
I mean, of course it is. What am I saying?
Another thing to consider, if Millia is just dashing up on you like this on the ground, as the Leo, I think a little bit more fireball would be nice, actually, and 5k. I don't think we've really seen you hit that much 5k in general. 5k is like a really useful grounded tool. Or 2k. 2k, 6k is really good, too. I'd like to see you challenge a bit more on the ground with that instead of far slash and 5h. Try a little bit of 2k, 6k, or try a little bit of like 5k, 6k. Yeah, that looks great. Do that a little bit more, I think. Or even 6p, like run up 6p, I think is fine too, as an option to represent. You know? Those are all useful little pokes to keep in mind for Millia, so that she has to approach in the air. I don't think her punish on sweep is probably very good either. Oh, that could have been punish.
The meter gain here is kind of nice. You're gonna get one
don't burst this. You shouldn't burst until the next hit, probably. Yeah, I would burst if you get hit here. Another thing that I will tell you about defending Millia here as Leo, when you block close slash here, that's probably DP time. Afterwards, she's either gonna like 2S you or jump air dash or jump bad moon or whatever. So I think as an okay point of contention is challenging on her close slash with your DPRC. I don't know, maybe that's what you tried there, but
counter hit by the overhead.
that would be like my first place to recommend. Also, you should bait burst here. Yeah. Oh, that's probably fireball. That's a pretty big miss.
Wait a minute.
If you're Millia here, you have to bait the DP. Oh. Air dash back, maybe? That looks good too. Wow, what a burst.
On the edge of my seat here. Okay, 6p.
Big risky burst there, I think, if you're Leo. Especially considering how Millia is, I don't think you needed to burst there. I think you would have been okay just going to the next round. She doesn't have burst here, so that if you hit her, she's just going to explode anyway. You can hold on to your burst. Keep momentum. Yeah, right there. Same advice kind of applies. You should look for the throw. Another bit of advice, actually. This is for anybody who defends against Millia.
Heard of her.
When you block 6H, you should stand up. There is no low threat here that's not delayed. So if you block 6H, you should stand up because she can cancel this into Bad Moon or whatever, right? But it doesn't matter. She doesn't have like a low that's threatening. 6H comes out, you should just stand up automatically. Unless you're going to flash kick it, I guess. Just stand up as a default for any character. Because there's not really a low you have to be afraid of. Nice.
Oh my God, the back turn mix.
Could you have done Stomp first? It doesn't end up mattering.
I think it is. Yeah, Randell takes it.
Yeah, she has to command dash, air command dash, or Bad Moon. So standing up is a pretty safe option. And then if you see not Bad Moon and it's the turbo fall, you can throw. So that's my recommendation there. I like the Millia's pressure around the matchup a lot. I think you are very conscious of flash kick, which is important. I would say that instead of always empty jumping, you could probably safe jump sometime instead too, right? So that you have the overhead threat instead of always having empty jump or empty low. All right, let's check this out. I think the names are not updated,
these
but
are, maybe some characters who are considered a little strong in the meta, so to speak.
One thing that's really important in this matchup as Leo on defense is holding your charge to flash kick and challenge the close slash into far slash into 5H or whatever. Also, your grounded options against Soul are quite good, right? So really important to represent, especially here at RoundStart with like 5k into 6k or dash up 2k or 2k 6k or whatever it is. I think you can chase and kind of corral Soul pretty easily on the ground. That's something that is really useful in this matchup. Not a real meaty. Important thing to note if your opponent challenges like that right away, by the way, that if they're just 5k'ing on wake up without looking at the screen, basically, they're just going to do it. So Soul players like doing that on wake up, which means you should probably just meaty. That's twice in a row, just meaty wake up 5k with no thought to where you are as a human being.
Defensive rounder, at least that was what was happening until he got hit here and placed in the corner against Soul.
Yeah, you should also, against Soul by default as Leo, you should just be blocking here. And then, especially when you see 5k, You should just block low and wait to see if he's 6K or 6Ss. If he's 6Ss, you can just DP punish every time, right? So it should just be low block here. There's nothing to stand up for.
In the corner against Soul, not where you want to be.
And yeah, I feel like you didn't challenge with flash kick on the key things that you are looking for there, which is block the far slash and then flash kick before the 5H or not, right? That's like the guess that Soul's making there.
But okay, if it works,
I think you actually built the meter there. Again, I think that's the third or fourth time in a row here we've seen just wake up 5K from your opponent. You should just media this opponent until they get the idea, because they're not looking on the screen to see what you're doing at all. They're like, I'm gonna 5K because I've been shown no reason not to. I've been shown zero reason not to.
Oh, that whiff
It should be the kill.
So frightening.
That was 5K. I mean, it's a god button, but the huge downside is that with Soul whiffs it, he's like, oh my knees. Like it's
He's old now. That should be a punish, by the way. That's minus 20 something on block.
50 frames or something. Good God. But yeah, Craptastrophe, nice job bringing that round back.
That's totally okay with you
Stay
here.
alive, but now you're out of the corner.
You are, yeah, you are gone. I think if you're the Soul player, wild throw without bar there is so bad. You lost the corner. Okay. Yeah, we gotta meaty real soon here. You gotta just meaty. I know that it's easy not to sometimes to just assume, but you should just be hitting a meaty attack, you know. Because I don't think your opponent has blocked on a single wake up. Yeah, I mean even there that was vortex from full screen.
Really gonna hurt. Crap.
Yeah, we need to see a meaty like
Alive.
eight knockdowns ago for sure.
That was a wild throw on the DP. I greatly respect the option because that. So go.
Yeah, your meaty timing has got to get sharpened up there.
That tournament took forever. Anyway.
I also think at round start you need a little bit more 5K in your life.
Yeah,
You should actually be able to bully Soul on the ground reasonably well.
Very good against Soul.
That can also be flash kick too if he's trying to cancel into gunflame like that. That's a flash kick right there too after you block success. Those are important moments to defend against Soul. You got to know what to do.
Wow, I can't believe that 5H connected.
In this matchup in particular, 5K on the ground and 6K or in 2K are both excellent pokes. Soul doesn't have that many good options to challenge them.
Use for Tyrant Rave, I think, because it wasn't gonna wall.
Yeah, like right there, if you're doing 5K or dashing 2K, he doesn't have an easy time just running up and far slashing that. You actually control the pace of the ground game quite a lot in this matchup as Leo.
Successful DP and burst it. Okay.
He can 5K in time.
I think your defense is just not right here against Soul. I think you don't know where you're looking to challenge with flash kick, so you're struggling to. That was good. That was meaty. You're struggling to challenge correctly here.
I love the 5K there. Don't even respect it.
Nice. That looks great.
Overhead too, but okay.
This looks great. You should just do this until the match ends, probably. Yep.
What? No wall break.
Looks good on my end. You should just keep doing that. That looks great.
Oh, look at...
He was throwing.
I think you died. Yeah. That hurts.
That would have been so genius if it worked.
Oh,
what if, though, chat? That's all I ask you. What if though?
I think you need more 6P on the ground too, because I think your opponent has mostly approached with things that are like easy to 6P, right?
Yeah, that's your option.
But I can show you in training mode. I can give you some ideas about what you're looking for on defense. I say that because like I think a lot of people probably don't have a good idea about how to defend or how they should be structuring their defense against Soul. And you're just like, yeah, I'll probably flash kick here. This looks good, right? Instead of like learning the moments where flash kick is guaranteed or not on block. So I'll give you some examples. This is like a really common approach. We saw a lot of far slash. This is obviously a very good move. One thing that's important to know about this button is that Leo has really fast, really strong advancing moves that are super useful in this matchup. And this move is excellent in this matchup. This is not easy for Soul to poke against. And also 6P as well is quite useful in this matchup, right? So this is something that you can do a lot. And the thing is about this is that if you notice, look how far away I can contest far slash from. You see this? With dashing 5K. This is one of the best moves in the game. This move is absurdly powerful. This is the main thing you're looking for in neutral, right? Same thing with 2K. And 2D is excellent against Soul. He does not have a lot of great options to poke against 2D. 2D got counter hit there out of the air. Soul doesn't get anything off this. he doesn't get anything if he counter hits you out of the air. So let's just start at round start. And like, I think you were rather defensive at round start a lot, but in actuality, I think that it should be the opposite. You should be, I think, attacking at round start most of the time against Soul. He doesn't actually have good interactions with you there. If he's starting with Far Slash at round 1 fight, then we get a hard knockdown into Berserker Slash setup here. If he tries to just hit Far Slash around start, right? Off of whatever button. In fact, you don't even have to commit. You can just do this. You can just walk back and hit 5k. 2S is like such a juicy button, right? It like beats 5k at round start, right? Beats 2k at round start. Seems like a pretty good move, right? We can just 5k and whip, and then we're in his face. Or even just dash up like that. Even doing like dashing 2k. This is also really good too. About pressure. So one thing that's important to know about pressure for Soul is this is -7. This moves 6S right here, right? So 6S, that is a punish when you block 6S. And let's say he starts doing this, right? He runs up and does sweep. You just don't flash kick it. Now he's -4. You'd hit this, and then you do this, and then the round's over. So that's pretty good. You may say, like, what if he does, like, I don't know, this? He's just doing banner revolver, right? I flash kick. See that? It's true block string, right? So I'm fine. If he delays it to try to frame trap me or something, yeah, you just smoke. BR1 is also -7 on block. So like when you're defending against Soul, your primary option is just to block and then see if he does this. If he does this, doesn't matter what he's canceling into or whatever, right? You can just smoke him for it. You can also flash kick in between the hits too, by the way. There's a gap there as well. The other thing about his pressure is that the primary thing he does to you in the corner, for most characters, is this, right? And then he hits 5H to try to frame trap you. So he's doing like, you know, far slash, and then I try to hit a button and I die, right? Leo doesn't really have to play that interaction the same way because of a couple of things. Like one, if you're trying to do this kind of staggered pressure against Leo, he just flash kicks out. The second thing to understand is that he has like really good, his 5P is excellent. He can 2K and poke against this kind of stuff and do 2D, right? He has like really good options here to like stop Soul from like walking back and like trying to do all this kind of stuff, right? You 5K, you 2K, whatever you want to do. You 6P, his 6P is like so good for this. Like, you know, that's your primary objective. Let him do far slash and then 6P or 2K 6K, right? Or 5K 6K or 2K 2D, whatever it is. Let's say he's doing this and then he runs up to throw or something. And like you're just trying to like 6P him or something, and so your 6P is losing here. That's when this becomes a factor, or 5K becomes a factor, or whatever you're trying to do. You can like switch up your option to beat the run up throw. Even in the corner, a lot of times Leo players would do stuff like this. They air dash back because they know you're gonna try to throw their flash kick or bait it. Throw also is really weak to 2D because it's airborne. Right, it's super good also. Or he's gonna do far slash 5H. 5H you can challenge with flash kick, or 5H you can challenge if you time it right, or if he times it wrong with 6B. Or even sometimes you can challenge it with backdash, depending on the timing. Well, you know. What Soul players will do is like far slash in a backdash to bait the DP so that they can punish, right? You can start to do this. Or you can start to just sweep. That looks great. Or even do this. Like, you have other great options when he's trying to bait you. We kept seeing this in the Millia set. This is so bad on block. As you can see, this is so bad for Millia. She's in counter hit recovery here. I also think that you can probably DP punish or sweep on block, right? This should be a punish every time too. So to the Leo player, you should be trying this. The nice part is too, watch this. I set up 3 recordings, right? One is 2K 2D into S-Disc. One is 2K2D into delayed disc, and then one is 2K2D nothing, right? So check this out. Okay, that beat the delayed disc. Beat the delayed disc again. Beat it again. That was raw 2D. See that? And we know what to do if she does raw disc by itself, right? See that? How often do you guys get hit by stuff like this, right? Where you try to block and then you get hit like this. Important thing to know about Millia is that there's actually a really large gap here, and it loses to a lot of things. So, you know, there is a big gap here. Like, if there's ever a problem you have, the training mode is actually really good for testing whatever your issues are, you know what I mean? Like, a good example earlier that came up is this, right? Against the Leo player earlier, we saw, like, this setup a lot into empty jump low. And I mentioned earlier that this setup is actually not real. You can just... If she just does nothing here, you can just hit a button or jump. Oh, can I also delay throw? I can probably delay throw it too, right? Have any tips for the Ram matchup is biking? You probably have to use your air movement to bait normals. So I talk about using air movement to bait grounded options a lot. I'll give you an example. In this game, there's a run momentum, and what the run momentum does for you is it makes it so that when you, like, let's say you do a forward jump, right? This is what a forward jump looks like. See how long it takes me to get across the screen with a forward jump? If you run and then you forward jump, you notice you go quite a bit farther. So if I'm full screen and I do run forward jump, I make it there in 2 jumps. Same thing, this is what a neutral jump looks like, right? But if you run and then neutral jump, you see how you have your forward momentum? This is really important because this allows you to move forward in the air while not actually committing to anything. Against a character like Ram, for instance, let's say that she is trying to anti-air me, right? So you're running and trying to jump at her, and then she's 6-spinning you in this spot, right? You can actually use your forward momentum on a neutral jump to bait this. See that? That's a whip punish on her anti-air. She's trying to 6P me when she sees me jumping. You can also throw off your air timing with stuff like that too by jumping forward with neutral jump like this and then air dashing in after. See that? You can also run and then full jump and then air dash backwards so that you can punish her 6P attempt. So against Ram, when she's doing stuff like this, right, and she's trying to poke on you and you're just running at the ground at her getting smoked, it's also worth, you know, baiting out her ground normals with your air movement like this, or running and air dashing back, or like trying to use Kabari from far away to catch her. Another thing too is that you can beat Kabari, for instance, with 6Ps a lot of times, although, you know. Anyway, that's great because then you can 2H it.